with your kids.
Yes.
And
She wanted to bring the kids back.
Sheriff.
Yeah, I had to call the sheriff's department to go up there and get my kids because that morning she threatened to blow my head off.
Yeah.
Oh, Candace did?
Yeah.
She threatened to blow your head off?
Because I told her mother.
Hey guys, what's going on? Hope you're doing good. Hope you've had a great weekend. Gonna be doing a Summer Wells video today. Something crossed my mind and I want to go over it. What has crossed my mind are the 2-year and the 3-year anniversary interviews that Dawn gave. There's a lot there, guys, between the 2-year anniversary interview and the 3-year anniversary interview. So that's what I want to go over, and why I think something's in the works, guys. Something's in the works. And like I said, it all has to do, once the boys were gone from Dawn and Candace, I knew something. Now it's not set in stone, but there's a lot of stuff happening I see that a lot of people may not be catching, that's telling me something's in the works, guys. But again, may not be set in stone. Anyway, let me go over these 2 interviews with you and do some commentary on it. Oh, the first interview is going to be the 2-year anniversary of Summer Wells going missing.
An Amber Alert issued 2 years ago to find Summer Wells is still active. Good evening, I'm Sarah Diamond.
I'm Josh Smith. Despite nationwide attention received by her disappearance, there are still no answers as to what happened to the little girl. The most significant recent development came yesterday when an age-progressed image was released showing what Summer could look like now at the age of 7.
Well, a lot of people had issues with that age-progressed picture, didn't they?
The photo on the left of your screen.
Summer was 5 when she disappeared. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation says there are no new details they can publicly release. But we have team coverage tonight. Clarice Shaley is at a vigil to help find Summer and honor other missing people.
But first, we'll go to Ansley Daniel, who spoke with Don Wells, Summer's father. Ansley, you've been tracking this case from the start.
Yeah, Josh and Sarah, here we are 2 years later, still trying to find out what happened to Summer. And tonight, her father is seeking some answers of his own.
I'm just having to put my faith completely in God and know that He has a better plan. And that's pretty much where I'm at. My wife is still...
Now, I want you guys to pay attention here. Just remember Don and his, religion throughout this entire investigation. I don't want you to forget that.
Struggling.
A lot has changed for the Wells family over the last 2 years since their daughter Summer went missing from their Beach Creek home in Hawkins County.
Social media have come out, and protested at my job, everywhere we go, and so it's hard for us to get any work or anything in Eastern Tennessee.
Wells says he and his wife Candace have been in Arkansas on and off for the last few months, where he's been working in construction. He also says they've been working with the Department of Children's Services there to get their 3 older sons back. They've been in Tennessee DCS custody since the month after Summer was reported missing.
I think they're scared of our house because...
I think Don was about to say, I think they're scared to come home. He said, I think they're scared too, and then caught himself. Did y'all hear that? Let me play it again.
Reported missing.
I think they're scared of our...
Since the month after Summer was reported missing.
I think they're scared of our house because of what happened. And is one of the issues, so...
Yeah, those boys are definitely scared to go back to that house. And it ain't got nothing to do with social media. It's got everything to do with the parents, or ex-parents.
We would like to buy another house here in Arkansas.
The house he's referring to on Ben Hill Road is where his daughter went missing from.
We couldn't understand what happened to Summer. The police couldn't understand.
Oh, I know. He says they can't understand what happened to Summer. In my opinion, They understand. And I think they're beginning to understand what's going to happen to them when the police solve this case.
And they were questioning us. At times they were hard on us, and other times they weren't. It just depending on, you know, what police agency was there at the time.
2 years.
Now remember that. Remember how Dawn reacts in this video towards the police.
Road is where his daughter went missing from.
We couldn't understand what happened to Summer. The police couldn't understand, and they were questioning us. At times they were hard on us, and other times they weren't. It just depending.
And he's not going too hard on the police right now, and this is the 2-year mark. Take note.
You know what police agency was there at the time.
2 years later, he and Candace have no clues as to where Summer is.
We try to bounce things off of each other all the time. We might have talks about, you know, some of the drug activity that was going on at the time. And
Really? Y'all had talks about the drug activity going on at the time?
was going on right after her disappearance for quite a while at the time. And was going on right after her disappearance for quite a while.
Sounds like there might have been some drugs going on up on the hill. Man, you're so full of it. So full of it. Let's listen to that one more time.
We might have talks about, you know, some of the drug activity that was going on at the time. And was going on right after her disappearance for
I'd say that drug activity was going on at 110 Ben Hill Road before Summer got gone. And in my opinion, wouldn't doubt it if it was going on after Summer got gone. You're so full of it.
Quite a while. But yeah, there's nothing new.
Don says the family stays in touch with law enforcement through their private investigators.
About 2 months ago, they talked to our private investigator.
Now, I'm just going to leave it there on this interview. I'll just go ahead and tell you, you know, in my opinion, you know, Don pretty much wasted his time with the private investigators. Law enforcement ain't going to tell nobody. Private investigator, you, Candace, Grandis, Jody Sue, it don't matter. They're not going to tell nobody what's going on. Especially private investigators that are so buddy-buddy with you that they take your wife to the hospital in Johnson City. Yeah, I wouldn't trust them either if I was law enforcement. All right, so guys, let's get into the 3-year interview that Dawn gave just this past couple weeks ago, the 3-year interview.
Today marks 3 years since the disappearance of then 5-year-old Summer Wells from her Hawkins County home.
The night she was reported missing, authorities said Summer was last seen walking from her home on Ben Hill Road in the Beach Creek community. Hours later, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation would issue an endangered child alert for her. That would later turn into an Amber Alert.
To this day, law enforcement still has not located Summer Wells and are not any closer to finding her. News Channel 11's Ansley Daniels spoke with Summer's parents.
We have pushed investigators for months to learn about new details or updates in this case. What we do know is that her family continues their search to bring Summer home.
Okay.
I spoke with both Dawn and Candace Wells in Kingsport at a place with deep meaning to Summer's disappearance. Borden Park is anything but quiet this time of year. But 3 years ago, it was filled almost weekly with people praying for Summer Wells.
I see all these families, you know, with their kids and how much they enjoy them and stuff, and we were stripped away from all our kids. All our kids have been kidnapped from us by DC.
All right, now, in the 2-year anniversary interview with Dawn Wells, Dawn really didn't go that hard at DCS and the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office, right? Boy, he goes at them hard in this one. That's what I want you to pay attention to, guys.
I see all these families, you know, with their kids and how much they enjoy them and stuff, and we were stripped away from all our kids. All our kids have been kidnapped from us by DCS and who knows.
Boy, it's a strong statement to make. DCS kidnapped your kids away from you. Didn't sound like that in the 2-year anniversary there, Dawn.
Oh, we're not sure about Summer, but we know about where our boys are at.
While the prayer vigils are now few and far between, Dawn and Candace Wells haven't stopped praying that their daughter Summer will be found.
We have hope, always.
Here comes the religion.
But there's not much hope in this world. It's like, you know, we have to trust God that there's hope in eternal life in heaven.
Remember, like I said, guys, remember Dawn's religion throughout this investigation. I want you to remember that until this investigation is solved.
Summer was reported missing on June the 15th of 2021.
We know that she was taken off her property, and we know she was taken away in a vehicle, or they would have found her in the area if she was somewhere in the area. But who's responsible for her? We don't know.
I asked Dawn and Candace when was the last time they heard from investigators.
We haven't lately at all. It's been a while, over a year, I think. I haven't talked to any law enforcement at all. I tried to talk to the FBI agent about it, but that didn't go anywhere.
Don says he feels that he and his
No,
wife Candace were targeted by the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office.
They intimidated us, they belittled us, and done everything they could amidst all the chaos, and then the CPS was there doing the same thing.
When asked about how he thinks about Summer's disappearance 3 years later, Don spoke about a Department of Children's Services investigation.
They said somebody had called and said that we was giving our kids loaded guns to play with, and so they closed the case June 14th, which is something CPS does not do. They don't just close cases. So it's really...
He doesn't know what CPS does.
Odd and mystifying why they closed the case June 14th, and then 24 hours later, Summer's gone.
Summer's mother...
All right, guys. So Dawn really went at DCS and the Hawkins County Sheriff's Department in this interview. Now, what's changed, right? You got to stop and ask yourself, what has changed? Well, in analyzing both, during the second anniversary interview, they still had a chance to get the boys back. Okay, they had a small chance, but they, in my opinion, had a chance still to get the boys back. In this interview, they lost the boys. They lost the boys. And I remember telling you guys, once the decision is made to strip Dawn and Candace legally of the boys, you're going to see the investigation take another turn. And during that time, if you'll pay attention, if you've paid attention during that time, you've seen Dawn and Candace totally go, you know, well, sort of come off social, well, 90%, 95% come off of social media. 95%, right? Candace totally just shut down. Of course, I think Candace kind of knew what was coming down the pipe. I mean, Candace really, in analyzing this entire investigation, I'm wondering if Candace done the dirty work. If it had to been done and she agreed to do it. Y'all remember the Facebook post? It's a long time ago, Candace had a Facebook post that said, don't mess with me or I'll put you in a trunk and help people find, or help people search for you or something like that. Candace threatened to, you know, blow Allison's head off. Remember that when JLR was interviewing them? Allison said that, you know, Candace threatened to take her out with a shotgun. She had to call the cops, go up there and get her kids. She threatened to blow up Walmart. Now, do you hear anything about Dawn Wells acting that violent? Now, don't get me wrong. We've heard some bad stuff on Dawn. But most of that's been, sexual. CANDUS, on the other hand, we're talking life-ending violence. Let me say that again. Life-ending violence when it comes to CANDUS. And in saying that, whose watch did Summer go missing on? Dawn's or CANDUS's? Dawn swears he was at work all day. May have been. Like I said, was that the plan? Did CANDUS agree to do the dirty? I've even seen people out right after Summer went missing. There's a lady contacted me, said she's seen CANDUS at a thrift store, some kind of thrift store called Once Upon a Child down on East Stone Drive. And she tried to talk to CANDUS, but she said, man, Dawn, you could just feel the evil coming off that woman. Wouldn't be the first time a mother killed her children or child, would it? Wouldn't be the first time. Guys, and I noticed something else. Somebody that used to be close to CANDUS is, sounds like they're kind of distancing themselves from CANDUS now. They're kind of distancing. Now, I'm going to let you guys guess who it is. See if you can do some research and guess who that is. Someone that used to be very close and supporting of CANDUS, I have noticed. I noticed some distance there in the public eye between that person and CANDUS now. Is something going on, guys? Does this person know now that, damn, maybe CANDUS did do the dirty, and maybe I was wrong in supporting her, and in especially in the public's eye. I've been paying attention. I've been watching. Let me know if you guys caught it. Let me know if you know who it is in the comments below. If not, ask the question. I'll answer it. Let me know if you don't know who it is, or if you guess and it's wrong. I'll let you know in the comments. But yeah, guys, I think between all this stuff, when just looking at the whole big picture, the change in the 2-year interview and the 3-year interview with Dawn Wells, this is war between him, DCS, and Hawkins County. Well, it's really going to be, now DCS is going to play a role in this investigation. It is. So, yeah, it's war between Dawn, DCS, and the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office. You know why? I think they're coming for him. I think they're coming for him. I hope, anyway. I hope. Been 3 years too long, ain't it? But hey, you give someone enough rope, you know the saying. So maybe that's why it's been 3. Maybe they wanted to give them enough time to look bad. You've got 2 years of Dawn and CANDUS acting like idiots on YouTube. And you know that old saying, anything you say can and will be held against you in a court of law? That does not only pertain to talking in front of police. That also pertains to talking anywhere, to anybody. And I believe in my heart that all the social media stuff that Dawn and CANDUS have done up until this point it's going to be used against them in a court of law. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Now, when's all this going to go down? I have no idea. I guess whenever the DA says, I'm ready. You know what I mean? So it's really up to the DA to say, hey, okay, we've got enough. But I think we're seeing the preparation for that. Well, we've been seeing the preparation on it for 3 years. But I think we've got one major speed bump out of the way, which is the boys. Don't have to worry about the boys now. We can, you know, pedal to the metal on Dawn and Candace, and we don't have to worry about the boys being in the middle of it now. That's what I think's going on. And I think Dawn and Candace are scared. I think they're sweating bullets, especially Candace. Because in my opinion, I wonder if Candace agreed to do the dirty work. Right? Because like I said, you know, you don't hear life-threatening violence. You don't hear any life-threatening violence. You know, well, I mean, you know, him and Candace have had a few knockdown drag-outs, right? But you really don't hear any stories of Dawn, you know, with any life-threatening violence, any concerns of that. Only Candace. Blowing up Walmart. Threatening to take out Allison when she's up there getting her kids and she had to call the cops. You know, that's life-threatening violence. Right? So anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Drop some comments below. Do you think? I think it is, but again, you know, I really think that we you know, I hope that we see some movement here soon in the case against Dawn and Candace. Because we all know, we all suspect them. Hell, even Robin Lane, when I talked to her a long time ago, she even suspected Candace of being, she was suspicious of Candace. When Candace mentioned about, with Robin, it was the door. It was the door being locked or unlocked. That's what made Candace suspicious in Robin's eyes. Yeah, Robin Lane was very suspicious of Candace, is what she told me. But that was a long time ago, guys. That was a long time ago when me and Robin talked. But yeah, anyway, guys, let me know what you think about everything. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. Again, hope you enjoyed the commentary on these two interviews. Again, drastic changes in Don's behavior and his view towards DCS and the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office. It's war. It's war between them. Because they're coming, I believe they're coming down on Dawn and Candace. And they're coming down hard. And they don't like it. I think Dawn and Candace are backed into a corner. Let's just see how long this lasts, guys. Pay attention. It's been 3 years. Old Don B ain't going nowhere. Old Don B ain't going nowhere. So let me know what you think. And I'll see you guys on the next video.